Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. There are a few more things I want to do before we get unpaused here. The first is, I remembered that Marina Kingdom is now on free trade, so we can actually get them into our customs union. And wouldn't you know it, we have an obligation to use. A tributary? Because we have a truce. No. Alright, so that's not going to happen, but we'll get them into the customs union. So we'll go ahead with that. Excellent. Relations with Java are pretty good. I'm gonna pull them in. Pontianak, let's do a defensive pact. Let's do an offensive pact. That's just an alliance. So we'll get that dealt with. Banjar will be joining the customs union, I think. Jambi, we'll get there. Cool. The Sioux capitalists are at it again. Sulu, you're having a real hard time with the capitalists, I tell you what. I'll take on your debt, though. Now they owe us an obligation. That'll be nice to have. Spain is going after Kutch. Country I think I've actually genuinely never heard of. Huh. What are you? You're a small sultanate that could be in... Or no, you're not a sultanate. You're elected. You're a dictatorship. Parliamentary republic with autocracy. Odd set of things that, but, you know. Bhutan, I don't know why you're antagonistic towards us, but it's not great. An oligarchic council republic with a laissez-faire economy. Great Britain. What is going on? Alright, and I am going to improve relations with Russia again just a bit. They're still cautious towards us, which is... I mean, I am militarily threatening. That is a fact. But, you know. It'll be fine. So now that taxes are down, we should see standard of living starting to go up again. We got a little bit of a shortage in infrastructure here in Korea, so let's get some railways building. And Yang Ho is short on taxation capacity. So let's get... by quite a bit. Heck. 687. So we need about 10 levels of government admin. And then Yeongnam. I'll go with 10 levels here as well. And we'll see how things stand once those get done. There's trench works. Cool. And we're not in any major warfare, so now's a great time to just get those switched right over. Oh, I can do barbed wire fences for my livestock ranches. That's for sure a good call. Unless we have things in Korea. There's the Sulu capitalist revolt. Like I said, not in any major warfare here. Could go to steam-powered thresher machines. I'm not going to do that, though. I have someplace... Not... Young Nam is not using vacuum canning. That's fine. A little short of explosives. How are we with fertilizer? Not great. Let's see where we can sell this. Alright, got relations improved with Russia as much as we can. That's very good. Still winning against the Sulu capitalist revolt despite the fact that I changed over my military methods, but that shouldn't be a problem. The Sulu capitalist revolt is in default. That is just fine with me. Hey, Dainam, you want to be my tributary? No? Still? Sadness. Marina Kingdom is not interested in a defensive pact, which I felt like they were a little while ago. They've already got a couple. We're nearly there, though. If I can get them up to 80, I bet they would say yes. Pontianak is having a proletarian revolt. And we are on one side of it. You know, this is really putting... this is really crimping my whole demobilize the army once the wars are done plan, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Alright, Yakikarta, let's get this going. I don't know why our relations are bad. Selangor is improving relations. Probably shouldn't have closed that. Don't know where Selangor is. Probably should find out. Is there a finder in this game? I've probably used it before. Wikipedia, that's not exactly right. Floating harbor, extra port. That's rad. Now we're doing military statistics, and after that we'll get wargaming. And after that, we'll have a lot more to do. Oh boy, I can't believe I have civilizing missions spreading to me. That's so useful. I should work on mutual funds. That's actually a good thing to get for this run. Improving relations with France. Not sure why our relations got worse, but I sure would like them not to be. Russia, is your capital still on the coast? It is. And what naval methods do you have? You're still at your starting ones. So Italy is actually a good target for forcing recognition. Your capital's Napoli. You do have shrapnel artillery, though. See, I have this deficit in naval invasions caused by my... Yeah, okay, guys. That is caused by my general shortage of... Like, the fact that I can't get... My navies all maxed out the way I want them to be. Actually, I can go ahead and build some more navies. No reason I can't do that. How on earth? Are we still having infrastructure problems? Are the railways not fully employed? They are. Wow, things are really hard there, huh? Alright, so we're advancing on here in this war in Pontianak. Should be good to go pretty soon. How's taxation capacity? We still need just about 10 more levels. Infrastructure is doing pretty okay. Can tolerate 20 more without a... Well, no, it'll be pretty close. So 2 more railways. 10 more levels of government admin. Yeah, it's 15 each. And then in Yeongnam, we can get away with... Let's see, we need about 105. So that's 7 levels. And we're just fine in infrastructure. We have a movement for restricted child labor. Let's go ahead and do it. I know the industrialists won't be super happy about it, but the people will be happy about it. Can-do attitude. Soldiers are complaining they have no way to open their canned food. How does the army feel right now? $35K. I can afford that. At least in the long term, I can afford it. If I can get my freaking armies demobilized. We do have a movement to... Oh my goodness, that is so much radicalization. Ooh. Gosh. Australia is improving relations with us. Interesting. I'm going to stop bolstering the industrialists for now. I'm going to start suppressing the intelligentsia. Australia. Oh boy. Jiro Minami. An anti-clerical and anti-monarchist movement known as nihilism has taken a hold among the intelligentsia. Led by Jiro Minami, these dangerous thinkers are said to be a thorn in the side of the status quo. They are an affront to all that is religious, all that is righteous about our nation. All that escapes their lips is treason of the highest order. Never before have we seen such brazen disregard for our divine right to rule. They are the greatest possible threat to society. Do not worry, my liege. These men are nihilists. There's nothing to be afraid of. Perhaps they have a point. Intelligentsia gets more likely to select nihilist leaders. That's interesting. This is treason, heresy. Intelligentsia more likely to select nihilist leaders. Nihilist agitator is created. Okay, so with this one, he gets plus 50 popularity. With this one, he gets plus 25 popularity. And the third one is the state must ban nihilist literature. He gets minus 25 popularity, and they are not more likely to select nihilists. I'm going to go with the last one. Big state religion. Guatemala is improving relations. I'm happy for them. Now, if I can just get this war done, I can finally get my freaking troops demobilized and figure out where my finances are actually at. Josian, how much longer do we have a truce for? 33 months. That's too long. So, media endorsements. The Voice of Nagoya, a popular newspaper read by industrialists across Japan, has published an article by Jiro Minami advocating for the inaction of restricted child labor. Putting out a newspaper without promotion is like winking at a girl in the dark, well-intentioned but ineffective. Who are we to counteract the voice of the people? Reduce enactment time, increase success chance? Offer our thanks to the publisher. This makes the industrialists stronger. I'm going to do the first one. So, Australia, you want... You're free now. Interesting. You need tobacco, luxuries, ironclads, furniture, and paper. Tobacco, luxuries, furniture, ironclads, paper. You are selling a lot of wine, a lot of sugar, a lot of fabric, a lot of tea, fruit, meat, and opium. Interesting. Tea, sugar, wine, meat, fruit, opium, and fabric. Let's trade. If I can get Australia into my customs union, that would be just wonderful. Because Australia's economy is quite large. Alright, now I just need to not get into a diplomatic play. Uganda. Interesting. For the next, say, 2 weeks, and I should be good to go with the money. Come on. Alright. And that has sorted out my finances brilliantly. Oh. And they need our steel. We're in consideration already. Wonderful. I can get dyes and lead from you. And tools. Heck. Dyes. A little bit of lead. Tools. Oh my goodness. Britain's collapsing again. So this is a parliamentary oligarchy movement. So it's an anti-communist oligarchist movement. Nice. Not bad. No. Let's not be ridiculous now. Well, I will improve relations with... I cannot. Oh, I don't have the influence. Well, I guess I am getting up to a lot of nonsense around here, aren't I? Surakarta. Join me. Brilliant. Pontianak. Not yet. Bali's already in there. How are our relations? We're at 58. Cool. Zanzibar. Condemnations of the children. A popular member of the Japanese intelligentsia has released a novel condemning the trend of nihilistic excess among the youth. The main character, professing vocal nihilism, bears a resemblance to Jiro Minami. The fact that previously they were simply dunces, and now they've suddenly become nihilists. At least one of them has some sense. Endorsed anti-nihilist literature. Intelligentsia becomes stronger. Jinzaburo Kanin will become a royalist. He's currently a reformer. Doesn't necessarily help me. Isn't the main character dashing, though? Makes them weaker. Jiro Minami gets more popular. I'm going to do the first one, against my better judgment. Confusion and delay. Supporters of restricted child labor among the intelligentsia, headed by Jiro Minami, have questioned the government publicly on the amount of time that is required in order for the law to pass. The government is, at this time, carrying out an atrocity through cold bureaucracy. It favors procedure over lives, paperwork over hunger. How many people need to suffer for the sake of the feelings of some government functionaries who've never felt a speck of hunger in their lives? Documents can wait, ladies and gentlemen, but the people's suffering cannot. This bill will be passed when the process is completed. This adds support and radicalism to the pro-restricted child labor movement, and gives us extra authority for 5 years. Or documents can wait. The people cannot. This reduces enactment time by 25%. Gives it just 10 radicalism. And gives us minus 10% bureaucracy, but minus 25% enactment time. I'm going to do the second one. No, I'm going to do the first one, because movement support increases my success chance. Cool. That's very good. Radical. Okay, and I can't bring you in because they're stuck in their current customs union for 10 years. That's what's going on. in Java. You're in... Oh, you're already in the market. My market. Sulu. Sulu? Yeah. I don't know how this keeps happening, but you got to get it together with those capitalists. I don't know why. Oh my goodness. Sulu, things are getting very, very silly over there, and I don't know how it's happening, but oh my gosh, they don't have any military. Alright, well, so I can just go ahead and land there, and that'll be fine. Excellent. We're at adoption. Very good. Enlistment offices is spreading to us. That's wonderful. And we're working on wargaming. Very good. Love wargaming. That's such a good time. Defensive pact with the Mosquito Kingdom. You're a protectorate of Great Britain. Mosquito Kingdom. I don't see any value in that. Banjar, let's have a defensive pact. Sambas. Unholy activities. A group of nihilist students has carried out an obscene and outlandish protest in front of a church, prompting demands by the Buddhist monks to halt these activities by force. It says vicar here. I'm just going to say what it says in the text, and I don't know enough about Buddhism to be able to interpret these through the Buddhist lens. So I'm just going to say the vicar, standing outside to sweep the path to the entryway of his church, could only stare in shock as the exultant students dressed as clergy untied and flung their frocks into the air. Cool. Banjar has a defensive pact with us. Dark cloth formed brief clouds in the air. At the sight of the bare flesh, he turned his head and shielded his vision with his hands. Do you have no sense at all? Tracked down everyone involved and charged them with blasphemy. 2% of middle stratum pops in Young Ho become radical. How do they expect us to identify the perpetrators? Buddhist monks get unhappy. Our Presaran pops and Kanto become radical. That's an easy decision. Young Ho is in Korea, and that's not incorporated territory, so it's fine. We do have a little bit of extra authority kicking around. I'm going to cut the consumption tax on tobacco, and do we have... We actually do not have... we do not have resistance in these territories. Never mind. I can keep that consumption tax on tobacco. No problem. And I'll throw one on... Wait... Actually, how are Hokkaido and Sakhalin doing? They're not great. They are starting to have Japanese... Well, Sakhalin is starting to have a Japanese population. Hokkaido's already incorporated. I'm going to go ahead and incorporate Sakhalin, I think. It's probably not going to matter until the end of the game, but it is what it is. And I'm going to throw my greener grass campaigns back on those two locations. Because I want to get populations growing in both of them. Particularly in Sakhalin, we just, like, it would be so useful for our market to have those coal mines active. Java is having a communist uprising. Well, we can't have that, can we? Alright, we're in the countdown to war of the Sulu capitalist revolt. Unavoidable injuries. With the government push for restricted child labor, adult men have been pressed to cover the gaps that they would leave behind. However, their bodies are too large and their fingers too wide for it, and industrial accidents have been increasing. Their screams filled the factory. Their blood covered the machines as if they had a heart of their own. It's the 10th time in a week that a man cuts his finger trying to operate some tiny machinery previously manipulated only by the slender hands of a child. The protests have been rising. If not them, then it's us. No one should be doing this kind of work. This slows us down and reduces enactment chance. Our children aren't coming back, so they better get used to it. This makes a bunch of pops and Kanto radical. But it gives us 10% enactment chance, even if it slows down enactment time. So I'm going to do it. Whew. That was grisly. Let's get this. So we'll get this capitalist revolt knocked out. The British Republic is going after a peasant revolt in the Mosquito Kingdom. I think I kind of dodged a bullet with that, to be honest. Capitalist revolt in Hamburg. Arms. Let's go ahead and get a naval invasion going over here. Ooh, Banjar now owes us an obligation. Do they now? I would love to have a defensive pact with you, Australia. We're still neutral with Banjar. Chaos in the courtyard. In visiting Kyushu University, Jiro Minami has stirred up an impressive crowd of students and disrupted the activities of several people affiliated with the Buddhist monks. The performer on the soapbox turned their attention to several unlucky souls in the clothing of the upper class and stretched out an arm. See them as they walk by, those agents of nefarious superstition. Yes, see how they hide their faces in shame? The truth is they're no better than any of us. Enough of this nonsense. Break up the demonstration. Weakens the intelligentsia. Reduces university throughput. Increased mortality of academics. Where we cannot deny it was a good show. This makes the Buddhist monks angry. Gives us production research speed. And increased political strength of academics. I'm going to go with the first one. Not that I'm paying a huge amount of attention to the needs of the Buddhist monks here, but again, I don't necessarily want the intelligentsia getting real strong here. Cool. So Banjar will probably be extremely likely to... I don't know that I can necessarily get them in as a tributary, but I can definitely get them into the customs union. What about you, Pontianak? We're amicable. We're getting there for sure. Tidore, I don't need to bankroll anymore. Well, It's really not that much. How much am I Burundi? How much am I total spending in diplomatic packs? Not that much. Sikh Empire. Punjabi proletarian revolt. Interesting. A deficit of respect. A woman affiliated with the aristocrats of the landowners has angrily reported an incident of a group of students refusing to stand aside for her on the side of the road and teasing her as she walked by. Have you no respect at all? What does it matter if your skirts must trail in the snow? Their worth is the same whether they're stained or not. The same value as any such garment. The authorities will hear of this. The sneers of the students with their shaggy hair and black coats followed her as she hurried away red-faced. How far can these nihilists' depravity go? This makes the landowners happier, weakens the intelligentsia, or hardly a matter for the legal system. This makes the intelligentsia stronger and the landowners angry. I'm going to go with the first one. The entrenched front. Heavy usage of trenches in the Sulu capitalist revolt North Borneo by Gentaro Kodama has turned the land into a blasted hellscape. The stalemate cannot last forever, but it's not clear what the best way forward is. Have you ever been there, in the trenches? It's less lonely than you'd think. You have friends everywhere. The rats will be with you every day and every night, and even when your mates die, they'll stay right there with you, just down below in the mud. Must entrench further. This increases mortality and reduces agricultural throughput and causes a bunch of devastation. Or we can't let our defenses stagnate. This gives us 6k progress in defense and depth. This one gives that general Gentaro Kodama trench rat, which is a pretty good one. But I'm going to go with, well, Kodama he's 58. He'll be around for a bit. I'm still going to go with the progress towards defense and depth. And there's the war with communist Java. So, let's see if we get restricted child labor, and then we'll sign off. Hey, there it goes. Perfect. It's been a very productive episode. Let's go ahead and get our education increased before I forget to do that. Yeah, it's been a wild and crazy good time. I've been doing a lot of work here in Southeast Asia. Getting close here. Actually, no, we'll take some time. We'll take some time. No rush. Can't rush with this. I don't want to be throwing around a ton of obligations. I already owe quite a few. Zanzibar, Java, Tidore. Wait, I went to Zanzibar. Probably use one to get the customs union. What about you, Australia? Ooh. I bet I could get Australia up to the point of accepting. So we'll work on that. But I do have to put a pin in it for the night. It's been fun. I've had fun. I hope you've had fun. And, yeah, I'll see you all on the other side.